Hello, everybody. Today I'll explain the poem Leisure by W. H. Davis. In this poem, the poet says that our life is worthless, useless, as we don't have even a second to observe the beauties of nature, or we even don't have the time to relax and enjoy in the middle of nature. We spend our life always in stress, in a fixed routine from morning till night. Now, let's understand the poem stanza by stanza. What is this life if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare? Care over here means worries, stress. Stare means looking continuously at something or somebody. The poet says that our life is useless if it is full of stress, worries, if we have no time to stand and look at the beauties of nature, the beautiful scenes of nature. According to the poet, nature is the most beautiful and precious gift from God to man. Unfortunately, modern man has no time to enjoy these beauties of nature, this gift of nature. No time to stand and stare. The figure of speech is alliteration because the sound of the letters STA are repeated. पोएट कहते हैं कि नेचर यानी प्रकृति के खूबसूरत दृश्य सीन्स और चीजें थिंग्स खड़े रहकर कुछ देर कुछ समय देखने के लिए हमारे पास वक्त नहीं है और ऐसा है तो ये लाइफ ये जिंदगी बिल्कुल बेकार यूजलेस है अगर हमारी लाइफ स्ट्रेस और वरीज यानी चिंता से भरी है तो ये लाइफ बेकार है यूजलेस है प्रकृति यानी नेचर एक बहुत खूबसूरत और कीमती तोहफा है जो ईश्वर ने हम इंसानों को दिया है लेकिन आज इंसान के पास वक्त नहीं है इस खूबसूरत तोहफे को एंजॉय करने के लिए No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows? Beneath means below, boughs means branches. The poet says that man is so busy that he has no time to stand under the deep shade of a tree and feel the coolness of the shade. The poet says that the life of a sheep or a cow is better than man. Why? Because the sheep or cow can stand under the shade of a tree and enjoy the coolness of the shade, enjoy the beauties of nature. But man cannot do it. Man can't do it because man does not have the time to stand under the shade of a tree. Beneath the boughs, the figure of speech is alliteration because the sound of the letter B is repeated. Stare as long as sheep or cows. Here the figure of speech is simile because a direct comparison is made with sheep or cows. पोएट कहते हैं कि इंसान इतना बिजी है कि कुछ देर के लिए पेड़ की ठंडी छांव में खड़े रहने के लिए उसके पास वक्त नहीं है हम इंसानों से तो जानवर जैसे गाय भेड़ इनकी जिंदगी इनकी लाइफ अच्छी है क्यों क्योंकि ये जानवर पेड़ की छांव में कुछ देर खड़े रह सकते हैं और कुदरत की खूबसूरती एंजॉय करते हैं लेकिन इंसान के पास ये सब करने के लिए वक्त नहीं है नो टाइम टू सी व्हेन वुड्स वी पास where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. The poet says that when man passes through dark, deep, and lovely forest, he has no time to look at the forest and enjoy the beauty of the forest. He has no time to look at how squirrels hide their nuts in grass. When woods we pass, here the figure of speech is alliteration because the sound of the letter W is repeated. Where squirrels hide their nuts in grass, here the figure of speech is personification because the human quality of hiding is given to the squirrels. पोएट कहते हैं कि जब इंसान घने खूबसूरत जंगल से गुजरता है, उसके पास वक्त नहीं होता है कि वो कुछ देर के लिए खड़े होकर उस खूबसूरत घने जंगल के नज़ारे को देखें। उस स्क्विरल यानी गिलहरी को देखने के लिए वक्त नहीं है। वो गिलहरी जो अपना भोजन घास में छिपाती है। No time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night. The streams look very beautiful in the daylight. How? The sun rays fall on the waters of the stream. That is, the waters of the stream reflect the sun rays. The movement of the streams breaks the sun rays and creates a starry pattern. This scene appears as if the stars are shining in the sky. But the poet says, unfortunately, we have no time to look at all these beautiful things. We miss the little joys which nature provides us. Streams full of stars. Here, the figure of speech is metaphor because the streams are indirectly compared to a sky full of stars. Streams full of stars like skies at night. If we consider the entire line, then the figure of speech is simile because a direct comparison is made between the streams and the skies at night. दिन के उजाले में धाराओं की खूबसूरती और ज्यादा बढ़ती है जब सूरज की किरणें पानी पर चमकती हैं और ऐसा लगता है कि आसमान के चमकते तारे जमीन पर उतरे हैं। लेकिन ये सब देखने के लिए हमारे पास वक्त नहीं है। प्रकृति, नेचर हमें छोटी-छोटी खुशियां देती है, लेकिन हम इन सब को मिस करते हैं। इन छोटी-छोटी खुशियों को मिस करते हैं। Now friends, we'll take the next two stanzas together. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. Beauty means a beautiful young girl. In these two stanzas, the poet is personifying beauty as a dancing girl with smiling eyes. Poet says that man does not have time to observe the beauties of nature. But in these two stanzas, how is the poet expressing this thought? Poet says that man has no time to watch the girl's feet and note the movements of her dance. Man does not have the time to see how her smile starts with the eyes and spreads to her lips. Basically, friends, the poet is describing spring and summer season. We know that during this season, leaves appear, flowers blossom, plants and trees bloom slowly once again. Leaves and flowers swing in the breeze. Nature dances, smiles. But how does the poet express all this? The poet expresses all this by personifying the beauty of nature as a dancing and smiling girl. Therefore, in these two stanzas, the dominating figure of speech is personification. And along with personification, there are two other figures of speech. Let's understand that. No time to turn at beauty's glance. Here, nature is indirectly compared to a beautiful woman. Therefore, the figure of speech is metaphor. Enrich that smile her eyes began. Here, blooming flowers are indirectly compared to a smiling woman. So, the figure of speech is metaphor. स्प्रिंग सीजन यानी बसंत ऋतु में पेड़ पौधे फिर से खिलने लगते हैं। फूल और पत्ते हल्की हवा के झोंके से झूम उठते हैं। पोएट प्रकृति की इस खूबसूरती को एक लड़की से कंपेयर करते हैं और कहते हैं कि इंसान के पास इस खूबसूरती को देखने के लिए भी वक्त नहीं है। A poor life this, if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare. The poet says that human beings are always worried and under stress. We are completely cut off from nature. We cannot even relax and enjoy the beauties of nature. Therefore, the poet feels that this type of life which we live is a poor life. इंसान हमेशा चिंता और तनाव में रहता है। हम नेचर यानी प्रकृति से दूर चले गए हैं और इसीलिए प्रकृति में रिलैक्स नहीं कर सकते, प्रकृति की खूबसूरती इंजॉय नहीं कर सकते और इसीलिए हमारी लाइफ बहुत ही पुअर लाइफ है। That is right from stanza 1 to stanza 6. The poet is asking questions. Why? Because he wants to stress that modern man has no time to enrich his life from nature. So, therefore, the figure of speech dominating throughout the poem is interrogation. So, this was the explanation of the poem Leisure. I hope you have learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.